Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask, Heidi. It's Friday, the 27th day of September. It's National Chocolate Milk Day. I'm a fan of chocolate milk every single day. Ancestors Appreciation Day, Morning Show Host Day, National No Excuses Day, National Scarf Day, World Tourism Day, National Crush a Can Day, and there's some other stuff on here as well. I've got the whole list in the show notes for today. And I've got a guest joining me, Ginny Hogan, very funny stand-up comedian, #1 comedy special of 2021, and the #1 comedy special of 2022, Regression. So she's got a couple of comedy specials that have done very, very well, and she's working on a new project. We're going to chat with her all about that coming up in just a bit. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday.
Charlie has Parkinson's. Recently, Charlie started wearing a bracelet from Vitatech Healing.
I'm an avid golfer, and I was going to give it up this year. I just deteriorated that much. Now I'm back to golfing, enjoying it, having a good time. I just can't stress enough how good it is.
Click on radiosavings.com to hear more of Charlie's story and find out how Vitatech Healing is helping others with ADHD, fibromyalgia, autism, and more. Plus, find radio-only savings by clicking the link at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. You ever catch yourself scrolling through your phone only to realize you should probably be paying attention to your children, or maybe in your case, your husband, or in my case, my wife.
Or your
pets.
pets.
Happens. Little something to remember. According to a study, parents who stare at their screen instead of talk to their kids could be hindering their children's language development, and that lasts forever.
Yeah.
Findings published in the academic journal Frontiers in Development Psychology show parents who use screens had more children who use screens as well. And the children who had used the screens have lower aptitude in grammar and vocabulary.
Yeah.
The research was carried out on parents of 421 children in Estonia between the age of 2.5 and 4. One expert said the results make sense because verbal interactions with parents are one of the main ways children learn language.
Absolutely.
So, I remember our son, when he was younger, he would read so much. He would read words that he didn't know how to pronounce them. He would say things, and I would say, what are you saying? And he would pronounce them wrong. But his way of learning was reading things. Remember that? And he would
Only
pronounce
because before you even came along, I had already worked a lot
he was
with
3
him.
years old when he was reading. I'm not saying that we did anything wrong. I'm just saying that he learned so well.
Yeah.
But he learned also from reading, and then I would have to say, well, that's not how you pronounce that.
Right.
But anyway, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
If you want a better credit card, it can be easy and not so hard. BetterCreditCards.com. Earn more points and get more perks. Get what you're looking for in a card that works. BetterCreditCards.com. Give yourself a little credit. BetterCreditCards.com. Give yourself a little credit. BetterCreditCards.com.
That's BetterCreditCards.com.
Did you know? Brought to you by GenesisGoldIRA.com. Heidi, did you know they have another new miracle drug coming soon?
Oh,
Nobody
shocker.
can deny the effectiveness of the recent wave of weight loss drugs like Ozempic and Wegovy, or however you say them. The Holy Grail, though, would still be a safe, effective pill that would melt away pounds without the need for injections or invasive procedures.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a new drug called amycretin, AMYCRETIN, could be just that. Unveiled at a meeting of the European Association for the Study of Diabetes in Madrid, they say that this could be a one-a-day tablet that would mimic a lot of the other things that are out there, but they're saying that it's safer. So, and the people who used it, it worked really well for them. So I don't know that it's right for you. I'm not really interested in being a guinea pig.
I'm not taking anything.
We don't know everything, and neither do they, but now we know this.
John and Heidi.
Now, Big Screen, Little Screen, brought to you by RadioSavings.com. Ana de Armas has teased John Wick fans by claiming that her spin-off movie will be, quote, sexy and dangerous. Ooh. John Wick Presents Ballerina will take place between the third and fourth John Wick movies. That's when this movie took place, set for a release in June of this year. Is Ryan Reynolds' next big purchase going to be a Welsh cricket team? Well, it might be. They're looking at the details right now. They made contact about buying a Welsh cricket team. I can't even buy a cricket. I'm talking about the little bug. I don't know how much those would be, but I couldn't even afford that. He's looking at buying a cricket team. And Survivor 47 is about to crash onto our shores, according to host Jeff Probst. The upcoming season is, quote, impossible to contain. He said each season of Survivor is influenced by the previous seasons, and they're working on people from Survivor 46 are impacting Survivor 47. I still can't believe 47
Me either. That's
seasons
insane.
of that. Yeah. So if you don't know somebody who was on that show, you don't know many people, because everybody knows somebody, or 12 people. Big screen, little screen, brought to you by radiosavings.com.
Charlie has Parkinson's. He started wearing a bracelet from Vitatech Healing, and he's noticed a difference even while sleeping.
Once I got in bed, I couldn't roll over. I couldn't move. I was just whatever position I was in, just a chore to get out of bed. And now everything is so much better.
Click on radiosavings.com to hear more of Charlie's story and find out how Vitatech Healing is helping others with ADHD, fibromyalgia, autism, and more. Plus, find radio-only savings by clicking the link at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com.
Now your scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of bettercreditcards.com. Jennifer Lopez said in a recent interview that she is not a diva.
Oh.
That is something a diva would say. So apparently she's connected to some of this Sean Puff Daddy Combs stuff.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
There's quite a web there. I don't know. And honestly,
I'm kind of looking forward to seeing it all go down, honestly.
I've avoided all of the stories about it. And this is kind of like the first time we even talked. And the only reason is because I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
Yep.
And every day there's stories with speculations. And I'm like, I'm going to just steer clear of all of that. And it's not news to anybody. But for many disciplined shoppers, it's nearly impossible to leave a place like a Costco or a Sam's Club without spending a bunch. You know how it goes. You pop in to grab one or two things. You end up leaving with a giant cart full of stuff.
Yeah.
And you grab a sausage on your way out. Well, now we know exactly how much money the average shopper spends at Costco per minute. According to a report
Oh my gosh.
from a new business news site, Morning Brew, YouTube channel that explores spending habits called Max. I don't know how to say it. It's an @ sign and a bunch of letters. Anyway, they say from the minute you walk into a store like Costco to the second they leave, shoppers spend $1.75 per minute.
Per minute.
The report says the average person will spend 37 minutes wandering around the store, which means the average shopper spends $64.75. Yep. People in the comments section say I must spend way more than 37 minutes. One joking saying 37 minutes per aisle maybe. Another said their family spends about 1.52 hours.
Well, this is just averaged out amongst everybody. Yeah. And you look at that parking lot and how many people are coming and going from those places all day long. This is the average amongst all of those people.
Yeah. And this guy says we spend 1.5 to 2 hours in the store. And if those estimates were applied, that would be a bill of about $210. And they're like, yep, that checks out. So
yeah.
It's crazy. But, I'm not a fan of going to stores, but I kind of like going to that store. Because of the samples.
You like the snacks.
Yeah. Snack time. Scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of bettercreditcards.com.
Can your IRA or 401k stand up to the next financial crisis? By allocating a percentage of your retirement into physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover, you can diversify and safeguard your holdings from turbulent markets and economic downturns. Safeguard your assets with a tax-free rollover with a Genesis Gold IRA, the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Protect your retirement today with a simple phone call and receive your free gold and silver guide. Call 1-800-200-GOLD or visit genesisgoldira.com.
Excited to visit right now with Ginny Hogan, very funny stand-up comic. And Ginny, first of all, welcome to the program. Excited to visit with you.
Yeah, thanks so much. I'm really happy to be here.
Now, how long have you been doing stand-up comedy? It's been a while now, hasn't it?
Yeah, I've been doing it for about 8 years, I think. It feels like I started yesterday, but it was not. I've been doing it. I've been in it a while, yeah.
Well, and you're doing well. New York City-based comedian with a #1 comedy of 2021 on Audible. That's pretty cool. That's going to feel good.
Yeah, that was great. I mean, I love Audible. I love working with them, so it was very fun to get recognized for it, for sure.
And one of the New Yorker's best books of 2022, so that's always really cool as well for your book. And you've just got a lot of good things going on, don't you?
Yeah, it's been a good time. I think the pandemic felt slow, and now it feels like stuff's coming back in a very exciting way.
So let's talk about the stand-up special, Regression. When was this recorded, and where was this recorded?
It was recorded in October in New York City at Westside Comedy Club, which is one of my favorite venues. And it's an hour that I've worked out over the past 8 years. It really combines like a lot of material from different parts of my life. And I worked it out also at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival last year in August for the whole month. I did it every day. So it was like a real a long-term project for sure. It took a really long time to get all the material together, but it was really satisfying to record it, and I'm so happy that it's out in the world now.
In addition to stand-up comedy, you are an amazing writer, and I'm looking at some of the things that you've had a chance to work on. Some names that everybody's heard of, the New Yorker, the Atlantic. I mean, just huge names. What is it like when you pick up something like that you've probably read your entire life, and you see your name in a byline that you actually got to be a part of that? That's got to be cool.
It's really cool. Yeah, I'm really grateful to really anytime I get published, I'm so grateful. I've been a longtime fan of the New Yorker humor section, so my parents were subscribers, so I would always read the Shouts and Murmurs as a kid. So it's so great to get to write for them. It's good to remember it because like I feel like in the day-to-day writing can feel like you just get ignored a lot or you get rejected a lot. So it is so great when something comes out and people see it, and yeah, it's very nice.
And we talked a little bit about your book that came out in 2022, but I failed to mention the title, which I think is worth mentioning. I'm more dateable than a plate of refried beans. I love that. What a great title.
Yeah, I picked it because it's true. I like to think.
And that's, when people are trying to figure out what they're going to read, the cover makes a lot of difference. The title definitely makes a lot of difference. I'm sure that it didn't hurt to have people pick that up and go, what the heck is this about?
Yeah, definitely. I think it is good for titles to leave more questions than answers. You never want like a title to kind of tell it all. And the book has a piece that really does like a scientific analysis of whether or not my photo does better on Tinder than a plate of refried beans. So I think it is worth it to make the title kind of a mystery and then have people read the book and learn what it's referencing.
I love it. So the new stand-up special, is that available right now? Where do I find it if I want to watch the new comedy stand-up special?
It is. It's on Amazon, Apple TV, on Tubi, on Pluto, on every streaming service. And if you're curious for a taste of it, you can check out my Instagram at Ginny Hogan _. Hopefully the clips will make you want to get it. It's been a lot of fun to have it out in the world and have people start watching it. So it's been really great.
I will find a link and I'll throw that on our page to make it easy for others to find as well. But before I let you go, you got to tell me about The Great Indoors. I see that's a project you're working on right now. What is The Great Indoors?
Yeah, so it's very much based on my real life. It is a woman who really wanted to hike the Pacific Crest Trail and trains for it and does all the preparation and then never ends up doing it. And that was like the story of many years of my life. I still maybe want to do like a long trail, but I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. But yeah, it's just about how you can go on a journey of self-discovery without really leaving your house, and that is what happens with this woman.
I love that. And when do we expect that to be ready for people to check that out?
It is out on Audible. You'll be able to get it if you have an Audible subscription. It'll be free. If not, you can pay for it. I'm so excited for people to get to start listening to it. I love audiobooks, so I love making them as well. It's perfect for driving, for kind of doing chores around your house. It's really fun.
Very nice. I'll throw a link to that as well. Thank you so much for taking the time to visit. I appreciate it a bunch, Ginny.
Yeah, of course. It was great to talk to you.
Again, Ginny Hogan, very funny stand-up comedian. I've got a link to her special and a link to the new project that's just coming out in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Charlie has Parkinson's. Recently, Charlie started wearing a bracelet from VitaTech Healing.
I'm an avid golfer, and I was going to give it up this year. I just deteriorated that much. Now I'm back to golfing, enjoying it, having a good time. I just can't stress enough how good it is.
Click on radiosavings.com to hear more of Charlie's story and find out how VitaTech Healing is helping others with ADHD, fibromyalgia, autism, and more. Plus, find radio-only savings by clicking the link at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Coffee beans are not beans. They're the pits of a fruit. So it's a fruit pit.
Yeah, I knew that.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
When opossums are playing possum, they're not playing. They actually pass out from sheer terror.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's really kind of sad.
That is kind of sad. Never take one of them to a haunted house. You will not get your money's worth. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
At least 2/3 of wisdom teeth extractions are not necessary. 2/3. Yeah.
Oh.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Grapes will catch on fire if left in an operating microwave oven. We got to try now.
No, we'll ruin our microwave.
See what happens. And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Spaghetto, confetto, and graffetto. They are single forms of spaghetti, confetti, and graffiti. So all of those are plural. So if singular, if you have one piece of spaghetti, you have a spaghetto.
Alrighty.
That just sounds weird. Several fun facts. Now you know. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
If you want a better credit card, it can be easy and not so hard. BetterCreditCards.com. Earn more points and get more perks. Get what you're looking for in a card that works. BetterCreditCards.com. Give yourself a little credit. BetterCreditCards.com. Give yourself a little credit. BetterCreditCards.com.
That's bettercreditcards.com.
Time now for the Mint Mobile question of the day. Comes your way courtesy of mintervention.com. Question, Heidi. Just over 60% of people have done this in the last 6 months. What is it? I don't think you have. If you have, it was on a very small scale. No, that's not it at all. But thanks. Thank you. No, chewed gum. Chewed gum was the answer. Wow. No, in the last 6 months.
No, I don't chew gum.
No, because she'll.
The Hubba Bubba incident of 85.
She'll break even like a small piece of gum in half. It's ridiculous. Mint Mobile question of the day comes your way, courtesy of mintervention.com.
Charlie has Parkinson's. He started wearing a bracelet from Vitatech Healing, and he's noticed a difference, even while sleeping.
Once I got in bed, I couldn't roll over. I couldn't move. I was just whatever position I was in, just a chore to get out of bed. And now everything is so much better.
Click on radiosavings.com to hear more of Charlie's story and find out how Vitatech Healing is helping others with ADHD, fibromyalgia, autism, and more. Plus, find radio-only savings by clicking the link at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com.
Time now for some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. California man discovered that he has mistakenly been paying his neighbor's power bill for about 18 years.
Along with his own?
Ken Wilson, who lives in an apartment, has been there since 2016, recently noticed his Pacific gas and electric bill was going up, so he attempted to reduce his energy usage. It didn't help, so he contacted the utility company. An employee came out to figure out if the meter was working and discovered, wait a minute, this isn't even your meter.
Oh my gosh.
They've been charging him for about 18 years. They said in a statement, we acknowledge an error occurred in this instance, and we are fully committed to rectifying the situation. So I wonder if he was paying the neighbors, if the neighbor was paying his.
That's what I was wondering too.
Yeah,
so
who knows?
Yeah.
We had something like that happen where we lived in a place where the power was split.
It was insane.
I'm pretty sure the person that owned the building was charging both of us for some of that power.
I think so as well.
Because we went through and put in like LED lights.
It was insane.
And we changed out appliances and everything. And when it was all said and done, I think that she was a horrible person. So.
I agree with you completely.
Weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. Time now for the list brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. I've seen some of these posts online. Kids have been in college now for a month. Doesn't seem right, does it? But
no.
A month. A lot of kids have been in college now for a whole month. So this was off of the old interwebs. It says, after a month of college, number one, I realized that it's easier to buy clothes at a thrift store than to do laundry. I had mastered 37 recipes using ramen noodles. This is what our kids have learned in their first month of college. I realized that the more you know, the more you realize you don't know. Okay.
That's true.
I was found that I'm majoring in pizza and beer pong. All right. I was a month behind in my studies, and they've only been there a month. After being in college for a month, I realized I couldn't spell college. And I knew that I would never drink peppermint schnapps again. So that's good that you learned something.
Those kinds of things sneak up on you.
After a month of college, I had completed a month of college. So that's what that person learned. The list brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
Can your IRA or 401k stand up to the next financial crisis by allocating a percentage of your retirement into physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover? You can diversify and safeguard your holdings from turbulent markets and economic downturns. Safeguard your assets with a tax-free rollover with a Genesis Gold IRA, the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Protect your retirement today with a simple phone call and receive your free gold and silver guide. Call 1-800-200-GOLD or visit genesisgoldira.com.
Time now for the quote of the day. Comes your way, courtesy of radiosavings.com. Our quote today is from Anonymous. Again, I don't know why they don't write down. They write down the quote, but not the person. Flawsome, an adjective. An individual who is open to their flaws and recognizes that they are amazing. End quote.
Okay.
Flawsome. So if you're awesome and you have flaws, you are flawsome. Heidi is pretty flawsome.
Why, thank you.
That's a good thing. I love all of your quirky whatever you call them, flaws, I guess. To me, that's what makes you perfect.
See, and I don't think I have any flaws.
They're your perfect imperfections. Yes, and that's one of them. The list brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. Comes your way courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com. And this is a really nice story from Georgia. Take a listen to this. A UPS driver rescued a grandmother and is now considering her, quote, family. Raheem Cooper was passing through his normal route on Valdosta, Georgia, when he saw an elderly woman collapsed on her driveway. First thing first, he called 911. Cooper then stayed with the woman, all the while calling her grandmother. The woman was taken to the hospital where emergency brain surgery was performed.
Oh, my gosh.
According to the granddaughter of this lady who had fallen in the driveway, it says 5 days after the surgery, she hadn't talked at all. And when he came into the room, this driver who saved her life, she brightened up and actually pushed herself up and gave him a hug.
Oh.
Cooper started a GoFundMe to assist the family members visiting from far away, and he brings her treats every week to the hospital where she is recovering. How
What
cool
a great guy.
is that? I mean, what a great story. I think that is phenomenal. And there's a video, and it's going to make noise over here, so I'm going to just turn that off. There is a video if you'd like to see the... I didn't know that when you
What
clicked
was that video, John?
No, that was a commercial, actually. But,
it doesn't sound like it.
It does kind of sound... I'm going to hit skip. So right here, see, this is the video.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to just turn that off, too. So, we don't typically watch videos on the radio, but when we do it here. So... Now, if you'd like to see that video, I do have a link to it. It's in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show. I honestly didn't know I was clicking a video. I thought I was clicking a story. I clicked the button and it opened the video. So that's how that happened. All right. Have a great Friday.